This is Ethan Kaufman and Jason Schroeder here. We're at the Central Arizona College, and we're going to do a quick video covering DFOWs and basically how the team has aligned the folks in the field to the expectations of the designers and the owner. So, real quick question, can you explain the process for getting those 11 by 17 sheets real quick?
Yeah, so it's super simple. Essentially, you're taking DPR as a project team and you're driving the focus into quality inspection. And so what we mean by that is that you're taking your project team, sitting down and deciding which feature you want to focus on, and then you're bringing it up in the OACs, and you're bringing it up with the owner, the architect, and you're assigning their values and what they expect. And then you put that all together in a very easy to understand graphic, print it out on the largest sheet of paper you got, which for us was 11 by 17.
Okay.
And then turn it over to the subs so that they can put it up in their game box, on the site, what have you. And so what you're essentially doing is you're taking all these ideas, all these design ideas, and you're having the conversations early about what the architect and the owner are expecting.
Okay.
And then when you align all of those, you put them on, and you've now got a single vision that you've put out to the subs.
Very cool. And you were explaining to me just some of the experiences that you've had with the different ones. Like, can you talk about the block versus maybe like the Eva System versus the Barrett Homes, like how they, people did or didn't use them, kind of how that, give me an overview on that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So each sub is going to react differently to this. And so for our EFA sub, up here, their quality plan actually was much more comprehensive than what we had put together for a DFOW. And so their quality plan sort of took precedence over our DFOW. So while we were able to present the single vision to the sub, their own vision for their own personal installation was stronger. And so we got a stronger product out of it. Whereas with our masonry team, we actually had to put in a little bit more effort into them. And we had to really make sure that they understood what we were expecting.
So you kind of drove that one.
Right, exactly.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So that was definitely one that we had to take the wheel on and drive through. But what it did end up leading to was 100% architect sign off and zero rework. And
very cool.
Once we got that approval on the first project, or rather the first portion of the project that had this architectural CMU block, we got 100% sign off on the rest the first time.
Because you set the standard, right?
Exactly, because we aligned the vision and we set the standard.
Very cool. And then you were telling me about Barrett Homes?
Yeah, so right down here, our ceiling guys, Barrett Homes, actually took these DFOWs and they put them up in their gang box so that every time they opened up their gang box, they saw it right there. And so they made it super visible and super present.
So basically you had one sub where they said, I got it, one where you had to drive it, and then one where they're like, man, I dig this, and they basically adopted it, right?
Right, absolutely.
And just to take us all back, DFOW is distinguishing features of work, and it looks to me like you've taken some of these are scopes, like you'll have, so this one right over here, ceramic tile, so that's a scope. This might pertain to the area, but basically it's a distinguishing feature of the building that you wanted to figure out how to install in a quality manner according to acceptance criteria, right?
Right, absolutely. And the bigger thing is that what we're trying to avoid the architect coming on site and saying, this is not what I wanted at all.
Got it.
Right, and so by cutting your rework, you're cutting your costs and you're cutting your time.
And don't assume what they want to see. Ask them, right?
Right, well, you know what they say about assuming, so.
Yeah, exactly. And then this graphic over here was super cool. So basically you have a number of renderings over here and you use it in the meeting to kind of communicate what it's going to look like, huh?
Right, absolutely. So we're sitting in our design corner of sorts right now where we've got our DPR driven DFOWs and our architect driven renderings. And so you can see the steps that are being taken to get from this point to this point.
Okay. Oh, I like that. From that point to that point. So basically this is the end result, so you're beginning with the end in mind, right? And this is how we do it. We have a focus, and not only do you have the pictures, but here is the descriptive explanation of how we get there. So, in closing for the video, what's like the single message or anything you want to say before you end?
Yeah. So the tagline. Let me start over. The tagline for all of our DFOWs has been aligning the vision.
Okay.
And so the whole idea is you take 3 teams, you take 3 people, 3 sets of eyes, and you get them all to focus on one thing and then get one message out.
I like that. That's beautiful. I almost cried. So thank you, Ethan. I appreciate you.
No worries.